Hey, what's up guys? Today we're talking about the most disrespectful shot in tennis, the drop shot, and if you're not using it, you're leaving 3 points on the court. Let's get right into it.
Hey, what you need, yeah? Man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey? We about it, get the cream, yeah. Why you slacking? Why you talking all the top, boy, you bragging? What you need, hey? Yeah, I got it, with the team, yeah. We about it, wow. Get the cream, yeah. Why you slacking?
Today we're gonna cover all areas of the drop shot, why it works, how it works, when to use it. Why does the drop shot work? The drop shot is an excellent tool to break the rhythm of your opponent and cause frustration. Too many players are playing very stable, very linear, topspin forehand, backhand, cross line, and they're never changing something, especially nowadays. Nobody's coming to the net and not many players are using the drop shot. So the drop shot is a key tool in order to disrupt the rhythm of your opponent, cause frustration. And we all know how frustrating tennis can be already. And if you use the drop shot, you push your opponent over the top, which might as well win you the entire match, even against the better opponents. The most important thing about the drop shot is the disguise and then the timing. So let's first talk about the disguise. What you don't want to do is already start the drop shot here when your opponent is seeing it early, because then you can hit the best drop shot ever. Unless it hits the lead and drops right below, you're gonna lose the point. The key is to turn, look at the bounce of the ball, especially great on clay where the ball is bouncing up, gives you more time. And then in the last second, switch the racket and hit the drop shot. This is something that you want to practice over and over. One drill is to practice it dry, just stepping around, hitting dry drop shots. And another drill is letting a partner feed you balls where you hit forehands, and then you hit a drop shot. So disguise is the first one. And now we're going to talk about when to use the drop shot best. Let's get into when to use the drop shot best. So we have 3 scenarios. First, if your opponent is very deep in the court, also after a return from deep in the court. Second, after you've played a heavy topspin shot that pushes the opponent back, you hit him with the drop shot for an easy point. And third, when your opponent is off balance and has to change direction, then it's a great time to hit him with the drop shot, because they have to cut and run forward, almost impossible to get the ball. We gotta cover the important but boring technical aspects of the drop shot. The drop shot, it's very important, like on any other ground stroke, that you have a stable base. You want to be very stable in the core, in the legs, so you can be very relaxed in the racket. Being off position without being stable, it's very tough to be touchy. And the next thing is also, you want to go around on the ball. So very important on the drop shot, we have a very specific German word. It basically means to wrap around the ball. So on the drop shot, you always want to try to wrap around the ball, which will give it the underspin that is necessary for it to stay on the same spot and not move more towards the opponent. So stable base and wrap around the shot, and you're good to go for a great drop shot. Let's really maximize your drop shot potential. So how can we best use it in a match from a more tactical standpoint? So we gave you the options when to use it, but in a match it gets a bit more complicated. So you want to set patterns where you play heavy balls, and your opponent is kind of expecting you to play these heavy balls all the time, and then you want to hit him with the drop shot. Don't start the match with a lot of drop shots. First, build up a lot of topspin shots, moving the opponent, and then steal the points by using them in the right and clever moments. To turn it up even more, use your backhand slice from time to time, and then add in the drop shot. So this will leave the opponent even more clueless. You're playing normal topspin shots, you're playing backhand slice deep, and you're using drop shots. Variety is really key to throw off opponents, especially against opponents that are maybe physically or technically stronger than you. Another way to really disrespect your opponent technically is to use the underarm serve. And it's not just to disrespect your opponent, it's also a clever strategy. So when you have a good serve and the opponent is always standing very deep on the fence, you can use the underarm serve to kind of move them closer and also to put something in their head. There's nothing worse than a good player who is always in rhythm. Use the underarm serve, preferably on scores where you're leading, to really throw off the opponent. Really important is also that you avoid a lot of these common mistakes with the drop shot. The first one is to overuse it. The drop shot is a great shot, but when you're hitting it too much, it can backfire on you, because the opponent will read it and you could also lose your own rhythm. And if the opponent reads the drop shot, you have a very difficult position to cover against. The earlier they are at the drop shots, the worse it will be for you. The next common mistake is you're not working on your positioning after the drop shot. Don't just hit the drop shot and stand in the middle of the court. Close down the net, especially when you see that the opponent will not be able to hit the shot above the net or close to above the net. Move in, make the angles short, and maybe even if they get the ball, hit an easy volley into the open court. Finally, I've talked about not overusing the drop shot. Also, don't become a panic drop shotter. So many players, when they don't know what to do or on a break point, they check out. We call it checking out in pro tennis. They hit a drop shot because they're tight, they don't know what to do. And going back to you having a stable position and not overdoing it, keep in mind that when you're panicking and hectic, have a clear plan. If your clear plan is to drop shot, okay, go for it. But don't just play a drop shot out of a sudden. Usually it doesn't work so well for you. Alright guys, we've covered a lot of ground today in this video. We've covered the ins and the outs, tactics, technique, how to use it, when to use it of the drop shot, potentially the most disrespectful shot in tennis. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you will use the drop shot to frustrate the opponent, but most important, to get more wins. That's what the goal of this video was. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the next one.